¿Qué pasa YouTube? Okay, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the draft analysis for the 7th season of the VDL, the Vortex Draft League. This is going to be a Wi-Fi draft league, not any regular Wi-Fi draft league though. It's going to be an Uber's Wi-Fi draft league, and we were unfortunately pick number 7 out of 14. So if you guys are excited for this season, make sure to leave a like and comment down below after you have seen our draft for this season. The coaches will be linked in the description below. I believe most of them will be uploading, so check them out. Now, quick little spoilers besides the thumbnail and title. This league is already like 4 weeks in, so I'm going to be trying to catch up with those uploads when I have time. Unfortunately, I've been having to pick up extra hours at work and just dealing with a lot of personal things, and hopefully I will be able to catch up, and eventually these should be coming out on Sunday, except those 4 first games will be uploaded in a couple days between each other so I can catch up. So yeah, as you can see, our very first pick is going to be TERA Dragonite. As I said, we were picked 7 out of 14, so it was either between TERA Dragonite or Mewtwo, both of which I did not think would make it to me, and I decided just to go with TERA Dragonite because, first of all, Dragonite, one of my all-time favorite Pokemon since I was young, back from Generation 1. Also, when am I ever going to get to use TERA Dragonite? TERA Dragonite is notoriously banned in standard draft leagues because of just how insanely broken it turned out to be. It was allowed very early on in Gen 9 draft leagues, but people realized, oh hey, this is not healthy whatsoever, and here it is as our round 1 pick. I'm so excited to use this Pokemon and this Terra Captain in general, man. Dragonite is absurd with its amazing move pool and it being able to run just a multitude of different sets, whether they be supportive, defensive, or offensive. So our second round pick was something that I didn't think would last this long, and I initially wanted a different mon, but both of that mon and its other form got sniped, so I decided to go ahead and get Dragapult as our second pick here. Shout out to the front office homies for helping me with this draft, and Dragapult gave us an elite speed tier of base 142, just being able to outrun a huge chunk of whatever Pokemon are being drafted. Also, Dragon Stab and Ghost Stab hit a good majority of the Ubers and legendary Pokemon that are allowed in this format, so that's a huge benefit, on top of Dragapult already being the absolute best Pokemon in standard draft league format. And as I mentioned, this is an Ubers draft, so for round 3 we got our Uber, and that is going to be Ho-Oh. Now, I didn't think this would last to round 3. I almost wanted to pass on it, but I was like, you know what, it pairs up really well with Dragonite and Dragapult because it's a very bulky fire type that deals with a good majority of fairy types, as well as having an amazing signature move in Sacred Fire, and with that 50% chance to burn, that also boosts Dragapult's hexes if we do want to pair that combo together. Regenerator, an absolutely amazing ability, and of course just being ridiculously bulky. So obviously we do need to get hazard removal, but before we get our removal we got to get our hazards, and that is going to be Ting-lu. We used Ting-lu in the MBC before. It doesn't do anything fancy. It does what Ting-lu does. It gets up rocks, it gets up spikes, it does 50% ruination, and it whirlwinds things around. It eats hits, gets up hazards, and does some damage, which is all we need Ting-lu to do. In Ubers, yes, they do have harder hitting mons, but it's still a Ting-lu. It's still bulky, it's still going to get up hazards, and it's still going to do Ting-lu things. And speaking of that hazard removal, unfortunately almost all the good hazard removal was gone except for Blastoise, and what I did actually end up taking, and that is going to be a Tentacruel. Now, the main reason why I like Tentacruel over Blastoise was because it has access to Toxic and Knockoff, which are 2 very beneficial moves, especially because Ubers obviously are very, very bulky. We can wear them down with Toxic, and we can get rid of their items, making them a lot easier for us to handle. It also does have a huge Spadef stat, which is really nice, alongside its base 100 speed tier, as opposed to Blastoise base 78 speed. So this kid essentially spins sooner than Blastoise could, in theory, which is really great. Also giving us a grounded poison type, which you always want to have on a draft. So Another familiar face that I got here is going to be Jirachi, our 6th pick here. So if you followed our MBC run, we had Ting-lu and Tentacruel, and now we have Jirachi once again. And Jirachi did kind of fall off in Generation 9, but in my opinion, it's still just an absolutely phenomenal steel type. It has an amazing move pool, amazing offensive coverage, supportive moves to help our squad in Healing Wish and Wish, both of which our top 3 mons absolutely love. And it's got a lot of just good disruptive moves with like Body Slam, Thunder Wave, Encore, and Trick, and even Psychic Noise, which is amazing. So yeah, base 100 stats across the board is also just really nice. So moving on to pick number 7, we got our second form of removal, and that is going to be Decidueye. Now, this was initially a different Pokemon, but after looking at matchups, I was like, you know what, Decidueye has better matchups than our initial pick, and I decided to go with Decidueye mainly for the fact that defog and it having access to U-turn just make it so much more valuable, as well as giving us another knockoff mon and potentially a mon that can set up because it does have access to Sword Zance and Nasty Plot. So now our opponents don't need to just deal with Rapid Spin from Tentacruel, they also need to deal with defog from Decidueye, which Decidueye does have some decent bulk, so it can be defensive or just offensive, as well as us having another form of priority in the form of Shadow Sneak, which is also very handy. So our next mon, this mon was not something that was on my radar, but did turn out to be something that could be very helpful, and that is going to be Meowscarada. I was really shocked that this was here in round 8, because this mon in standard drafts goes by at least round 2 or the end of round 1. So the fact that it was still here gives us a lot of good benefits, in the sense that it gives us a great knockoff spam mon. Like, knockoff is the main move that this is probably going to be going for, but again, getting rid of items is amazing. And it also gives us a good speed tier between our Dragapult and our Tentacruel and Jirachi. That base 123 speed is going to be very helpful. This is also a great Scarfer, a great banded Pokemon, and just an offensive threat in general. And I've also seen some very creative things done with Meowscarada, so I'm kind of hopeful. I'm not too high on this mon, but I think it has potential. And our 9th pick is going to be Gardevoir. Now, Gardevoir gave us a couple good things here. It gave us access to Teleport, which is one of the very few Pokemon that now has it in this generation, which is a form of negative speed priority. So in a sense, we can teleport out after taking a hit and then get a free switch into something like Dragonite, Dragapult, Ho-Oh, Jirachi, Decidueye, or Meowscarada. Just one of our offensive threats being able to come in for free is absolutely amazing, as well as it having a base 125 special attack set, because as you can see, we don't really have too many hard-hitting special mons, so Gardevoir did kind of fill that out. Also, it gave us another Healing Wish Pokemon, so if we are in the scenario or in the matchup where we want Healing Wish but we can't fit it on Jirachi and we can bring Gardevoir, then hey, we have access to that. Or if we're crazy, we can bring double Healing Wish to a game. And what's scarier than dealing with 1 or 2 Dragonites? Dealing with 3 Dragonites. So you never know, maybe that'll be something that we do. And then our final team member is going to be Primeape. Unfortunately, all the good fighting types were gone. Literally all the fighting types I wanted got sniped. So Primeape for 1 point is pretty decent. Base 105 attack stat, 95 speed is not that bad for Ubers, especially because a lot of them are kind of in the 90 base speed range. And I mean, close combat, it's got U-turn, it's got stealth rocks, so Encore is also very handy. And yeah, we still had 2 points left over, but we needed 10 Pokemon, and there was just nothing I saw that I wanted to upgrade or change. So I was like, you know what, we'll rock with the 2 points, and maybe we'll make trades as the season goes. But yeah, that is our squad for the VDL season 7. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and with that being said, I will see you all with week 1 very soon. So thank you all for watching. Later everybody, and hopefully we can get that Gen 9 championship. All right, let's go.